Hey y'all, and welcome to a special bonus episode of Connecting ALS. I am one of your hosts, Mike Stephenson, and I had the pleasure of getting to chat with one of the all-time great Major League Baseball umpires, Mr. Phil Cuzzi. We talked about his personal connection to ALS and what he's doing to make a difference in the fight. He also graciously let me sneak in a few questions about the upcoming season for baseball fans, so let's give a listen to our conversation right now. Welcome to Connecting ALS. We are joined today by legendary Major League umpire Phil Cuzzi. Phil, welcome to the show, and thanks for being with us on Connecting ALS.
Great, guys. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on and taking the time. We definitely want to talk a little ball with you ahead of the 2021 season, but we brought you on today to talk about some of the amazing work that you've done for the ALS community. And your connection to the disease goes back to a close high school friend of yours in New Jersey, correct? Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Robert Longo. Not only was he a close high school friend, we actually go back not only to junior high, but we go back even further than that because although we were not cousins, like first cousins, people think, oh, from New Jersey, everybody's related, everybody's cousins. So we were not really cousins, but we had the same first cousins because Robert's mother married my mother's brother. Oh. So I'm sorry, Robert's mother's sister married my mother's brother. So we grew up together. We were at the same family functions, same picnics, barbecues, and that kind of thing. So, we knew each other from kids. And then we lived in different parts of town, so we didn't go to the same grammar school, but we went to the same junior high, and then we graduated together from high school. We played ball together. Robert was an all-state linebacker for our town of Belleville, New Jersey. And after graduation, I went to a small state school in South Jersey, and he went to a little bigger of a school, Harvard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, the way it started, the last thing I ever expected to do was to be in the charity and fundraising business. But I think it was in 2000 when Robert was diagnosed. And it may have been the season of 99 when he called me and he said, there's really something going on with my hand. I get numb, and now I feel as though it's starting to go up my arm. And I said, well, Rob, go to the doctor, whatever it is, maybe, we can stop it now.
Right.
And eventually he did go to the doctor, and he was diagnosed, as I say, in 2000 with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And when he called me to give me that news, he said, I've just been handed a death sentence. And it was, really didn't have any idea. At that time, we heard of Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, but really didn't know what it was all about.
Well, Phil, I'm sorry that you had to watch someone you cared about so deeply go through that diagnosis. It's something many of our listeners have had the misfortune of experiencing. But since Robert's passing in 2004, your group has been raising funding to help families living with ALS, and has also contributed to research being supported by the ALS Association, right?
We've been involved with the ALS Association, starting with Florida, since Robert was, lived in Florida and wound up dying in Florida, as well as the National ALS Association in Washington.
Yeah, you should be so proud of how far that organization has come and the work that you've put in to change so many lives of those families impacted by ALS. And Phil, I know one of your biggest events each year is the dinner you hold in Robert's honor, and that's coming up this week, right? You've got a pretty star-studded lineup.
Yeah, we of course, like I said, we've been live for 16 years, of course, and it's at the same venue, a place in our hometown, Belleville, New Jersey. Nanina's in the Park. It's a great place. It's a beautiful venue. The guys that own it are friends of ours, as well as friends of everyone in the community. And everyone comes together. The first year that we had it, we had absolutely no idea what kind of response we were going to get. And people warned and said, well, you're going to get people the first year, but, whether they come back the second year, that's a different story. And the first year, not knowing, we had over 500 people. And since that time, we have grown. We're over 600 people every year. we have to turn people away. People sneak in. It's kind of fun. And, you know, we started to have like a mystery guest every year. And we've had, I mean, because of my position with baseball,
sure.
I've been blessed. I've been so blessed. But we've had Joe Torre, we've had Tommy Lasorda, Tony La Russa, last year Jim Leland, Lou Piniella. You can tell I live in Yankee country, right? But you guys may not be old enough to remember who Bobby Richardson was.
Oh, yeah.
Great Yankee. Joe Pepitone, Bucky Dent has been, Goose Gossage,
wow.
Joe Girardi came, the boxer Jake LaMotta, the Raging Bull, Larry Holmes, the heavyweight champ, has been multiple times. We've had Steve Sharippa, who's Blue Bloods and The Soprano fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my area, a lot of it was filmed in this area, The Sopranos, and of course, I'm a big Sopranos fan. Joe Piscopo, who's a Jersey guy, he's been to the event.
Wow.
And has become a good friend. And Bob Costas has been there numerous times. So every year we do it as a mystery guest. And people thought that it was a great marketing skill, but really I didn't know who the guest was going to be one year. And ever since then I said, no, it's a mystery guest this year. You're going to find out.
That's
and now
smart.
Bets on who it's going to be. And so fast forward to 2021, here we are. And, you know, the last thing I thought about doing was a virtual event, because I think people are sick and tired of doing Zoom calls and virtual events. And we've had them with MLB.
Sure.
And you know, but then I got to thinking and I said, you know, something is better than nothing. And then we put together a program, and it was really, I tapped the people who have already helped us and been involved. So
mm-hmm.
Bob Costas, who really is one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
So he's leading a discussion with Joe Torre, Bobby Valentine, and Bucky Dent.
Sounds like it's going to be a great night. Before we let you go, Phil, we want to talk a little bit about the upcoming season. This is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, your third decade umpiring Major League Baseball. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Well, you know, my first year in the minor league was 85.
Wow.
So I hesitate to ask what year you guys were born, but
it was a little before that for sure. Does it feel like it's been that long, or is it kind of zipped by you? Does it all kind of mush together, all those memories out there in the field?
The time has really, it's flown by. I mean, I am so blessed. I love my job. The last thing I'm thinking about is retiring, but I know that, you know, there is light at the end of that tunnel. But it's been so much fun. And, you know, like I say, no, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. So this will be my 22nd year in the major leagues.
Wow.
And I can't tell you where the time has gone.
And I know fans are really looking forward to having baseball back strong this summer, and you're looking forward to getting back out on the field. Have you talked to many of your colleagues about kind of what it's going to mean to go back out there this year and after last year's kind of abbreviated season? And I know there are some opt-outs and things, but is everybody looking forward to coming back?
Yeah, I think everyone is looking forward to not only come back, but hoping to come back as close to normal as what we're used to. Mm-hmm. I was one of the opt-outs this past season. Yep. And it was because MLB, anyone that they considered to be high risk was offered an opt-out.
Sure.
And because of my age, they considered me high risk. So it was really the first time that I was happy that somebody considered me old, because you know, it was the recommendations of the doctor as well to say, you know, we kind of recommend that you not work.
Yep.
And I really missed not working, but I didn't miss working under the conditions that they did, because it was so completely different than what we're used to. They were flying on team charters. They were staying at team hotels. And that's not what we do. You know, I mean, we're on our own. We stay on our own. We rarely see, I mean, not to say we've never stayed at the same hotel that the teams have, but it's rare. And we try to plan around that. But so it was very challenging, and our guys really rose to the occasion. I kept in touch with the guys, of course, during the season, and you know, they said it's kind of crazy, and it's also crazy to not have fans in the stands. You know? Yeah. As much as they scream and yell at us, we need them. You know, it gives us the energy.
Yeah.
So we are hoping that it's as close back to normal, and we hope with each passing day and month and that we're back to normal.
Phil, thank you so much for coming on today and for everything that you've done for the ALS community. We really appreciate what you've done, and look forward to hearing how the event turns out and seeing how the upcoming season goes.
Excellent. Well, great. Listen, I appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks again, guys.
That's going to do it for this bonus episode of Connecting ALS. Thanks again to the great Phil Cuzzi for joining us. For those interested in learning more about his event, we will have the link in our show notes. In the meantime, you can subscribe to Connecting ALS wherever you listen, and make sure to follow us on social media as well so you don't miss out on any special bonus content like this very episode. Jeremy and I will both be back on Thursday with an informative episode on ALS advocacy and the new administration, so check back for that. Thank you all for listening, and we'll connect with you again soon.